One price turned Ethereum away 4 separate times, and not a single one of those hours was allowed to end above it. Start-wide, the drop from the high measured $124, and the ruler drawn across it puts a ceiling at $1,933.73. 4 hourly candles have poked through that ceiling since the drop ended. Their highs land within $1.31 of each other, and 31 hours separate the first attempt from the fourth. That is what a beam looks like from underneath. Not a zone, not a region, a strip of price barely $1 thick that 4 separate rallies could reach and none could keep. Here is the part that decides everything. Poking through is only a high. Keeping it takes a close. Since the drop bottomed out, the number of hourly closes above that beam is still 0. The structure underneath has not changed. 5 waves carried Ethereum from the yearly low at 1,512 up to 1,981, and all 3 hard rules still pass on this morning's data. Rule 1 keeps the second wave more than $200 above the origin. The third is not the shortest of the 3, and the fourth stays $2 clear of the first wave's peak, which is the tightest of those margins. Now come into the night itself. 2 of those 4 attempts happened in the small hours while most of the market slept, and they are why this morning reads differently. The first came late in the evening. Its high pushed $3.06 through the beam, and the hour ended $15 below it. The second arrived 2 hours later and reached $2.42 through. Look at what those 2 closes did. The evening attempt ended $15 under the beam. The overnight one ended $23 under it. Each strike reached almost exactly as high as the one before, and each gave back more of it before the hour was done. Underneath the beam, something finally did change. Yesterday there were 3 lows in a row, each one above the last, together lifting the floor by $41 in a day and a half. Those steps are gone this morning. The night printed a low $14 beneath the top step, and it slipped half a dollar beneath the step before that one as well. So, the 2 halves of this chart moved in opposite directions overnight. Overhead nothing changed at all. The same beam, struck again, held again. Beneath it, the rising sequence that had been carrying the rebound simply stopped existing. Price closed the last hour at 1,907. That is $11 under the midpoint of the drop, a level the market had been finishing above the evening before, and just $3 above the lower graduation. Both hourly averages sit overhead now as well. The 20-hour and the 50-hour are both above the market, which was not true when yesterday's session ended. Measured against the drop, the best high took back 64% of it. This close keeps 41%. Most of what was regained has already been returned. Step out to the weekly frame for the stake. This entire rebound is a correction inside one push off the yearly low, and nothing since the high has printed above 1,981. On that scale, 4 strikes on one beam is a detail, and the beam itself is what matters. The floors on that frame remain untouched. The night low stayed $51 above the pair of prints that sit beneath this entire correction, so nothing structural has been threatened yet, only the momentum. From here, it stays simple. An hourly close above the beam turns 4 failures into a breakout. Losing the lower graduation on closes opens the road back toward the bottom of the drop. Subscribe for tomorrow's audit of today's call, leave a like if the discipline showed, and send this to a friend who watches these levels.